Hello, this is our standards-based report card that we'll be working with in the pilot. And the first thing I'll say is that this is just a very rough draft of what a report card could look like. This was just me in Microsoft Word using boxes, trying to fit things in and make it visually look accessible to a parent and also to a teacher. But again, please don't think this is a final form. This is something that can be very much edited and revised, and I look forward to getting your feedback as to how could we make it look better. This report card, I created it sort of using a model of this third grade report card. This will be the report card that third graders in Lake Orion schools will be given next year. And you can see that it's very much standards based. It's got exactly what students need to be able to do and perform in their classes. Up here you can see the marking system of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's all right there. It's very easy for a parent or to know what the skills are. And then down here on this side, in the elementary schools, you're supposed to do a narrative, which apparently is the really important part for elementary teachers, where they need to be writing comments about how a student is doing. For our pilot, we're going to be focusing on this up here. Creating report cards that sort of have everything that our students will do in their class. So I want to go back to the report card that I tried to model from that third grade report card. And I'll kind of zoom in here. And basically at the top you'll see I've just got a fictitious student's name, and then down here I've got our 0 through 4 systems. But after talking with Mr. Groya, we decided that we'd like to add in the 0.5s. We're not sure if that would be something that would be unique to middle school, or maybe at some point through our pilot we'll figure out if we like having the 0.5s, or we'll find out if having the 0.5s is not so good. But we kind of like the idea of having the 0.5s because it sort of shows that gap of you're on target, but sometimes you're showing that you are above target, but you're not always above target. And so we kind of felt like the 0.5s are still a good way to indicate what students can do. And so we're going to work with them with our pilot, but maybe as we discuss next year, maybe we'll decide we have to get rid of them, or we'll find out no, we need to keep them. The other big part about the report card is I've got two things going on here. On the right side, I have all of the Common Core standards that I'm supposed to be teaching in my class. And for social studies, I have the writing standards that are here. And then down below, I have the reading standards. And these are all just copied and pasted from the Common Core manuals that we've all been given. And these are the different parts of writing that I'm supposed to be teaching and working on with students. And then these are the different parts of reading that I've been working on and teaching with students. So when you go to create your report card, I would ask that you look at the Common Core standards for your subject matter. And I would ask, copy and paste those in. They're all going to have a little bit of different verbiage in terms of writing and reading, but I would include that because we are supposed to be teaching Common Core standards throughout our classes, and I think it's a good way to put them there. I've also found that it's really interesting to look at it visually. I think it's kind of a nice reminder of, ooh, am I working on these sorts of things, these sorts of skills with my students throughout the school year. So I'm going to be assessing Common Core standards in my social studies class, and then on the left I have my content standards. I teach ancient history in 7th grade, and therefore our course is being redeveloped currently. But what I'm trying to do is get to the power standards, or the key ideas that students need to be able to demonstrate their knowledge of in order to show that they've learned the 7th grade material. And so if you look at my Michigan standards for social studies, you'll see that I might have 50 to 60 GLICs that all are broken off of more power standards. And in the last couple of years, I have tried to teach every GLIC. And some of the issues that I've found is that I was assessing sometimes 3-4 times a week. And I found myself trying to assess more than I was actually trying to teach. And so in thinking about standards-based grading, thinking about how can I do this so that I'm teaching more and finding out what kids know instead of just assessing all the time, I've been trying to work on breaking my class down into big key questions. These questions are usually based around the more power standard that I've been given to teach. But in my opinion, if a student can answer these questions, then they are understanding the content for 7th grade social studies. There will be more that are added to my report card, but again, my curriculum is being rewritten, and I'm hoping that by next fall I'll be able to add, I would say probably 5 to 7 to 10 final questions that will be down here, and that will pretty much make up my report card. Everybody else, I realize, has their own respective subjects, their own respective content standards, and it will be up to you to decide what are the key questions that you want students to be able to answer by the time they walk out of your classroom. In my opinion, I think you should put your content standards on one side of your report card and then put your Common Core on another side. However, if you feel like there's a better way to organize your report card visually, please do. I would love to see it, and I would love to take it into consideration into possibly trying to make a more standardized report card for all of us to use someday down the line. Also, I would say you might have more things than I have, and therefore if you got to use the back side of a sheet of paper or create more boxes, go ahead. Ultimately, I think you might want to try to shoot for getting your entire report card created on two sides of a piece of paper, but that will be up to you. And again, if you have some more style things that you think should be included, please include them, and we can all compare our report cards as we go. I'll be including this report card in an email that I'm sending you, so that if you'd like to just use it as a template and start typing over my areas, please feel free to do so. So that's the report card, and again, our goal would be to see if you could have this completed by the end of the school year, so that you can begin next fall with all of your topics on a piece of paper. Again, if you haven't created assessments for everything yet, I think that's something we can do once the next school year begins, once you're in the classroom, once you have a better feel for how things are going. If you feel like, wow, this is a lot of work, I'm not sure I can get this done by the end of the school year, then I would suggest, I think you can get Common Core done very easily because that's already been done. I would suggest look at maybe doing one term or one semester. You already probably know what it is you're teaching and when in terms of quarters next year. Perhaps you can at least get the first and second terms done, and from there, obviously, you'll have a better feel for what you need to do for later terms. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to meet with you to try to help you come up with questions or help you try to organize your curriculum in any way, or just to be someone who you can bounce ideas off of. Once again, thank you so much for joining the pilot.